Welcome to Geo Sort by Paige Pierson. The objectives of this game is to get students thinking more analytically about the shapes rather than thinking visually. Second, we have the Common Core standard of using geometric shapes, their measures, and their properties to describe objects. To play this game, you will need 4 individuals or 4 groups of 2. Next, you will need a geometry shape deck that is provided by a teacher. Third, you will need the objective decks, including simple, moderate, and challenging objectives. Now let's get into the rules. Start by shuffling all of the geometry shape cards. Next, separate the objective cards into their 3 distinct piles, simple, moderate, and challenging. Now the dealer will deal 5 shape cards to each player. Each player then gets to choose one objective out of each pile and place them face up on the table in front of them. The person left of the dealer goes first. They will draw a shape card and then look at all of their shape cards to determine if they are able to complete any of their objectives. If they are able to do so, they will discard those shapes into the discard pile and flip over that objective to symbolize that they have completed one objective. After an objective is complete, the player will draw until they have 5 shape cards. If the player cannot complete any of their objectives, they will end their turn by discarding one single shape card. The game continues around the table until one player has completed all 3 of their objectives. Once a player completes all 3 objectives, every other player gets one last turn. The first player to complete all 3 objectives is declared the winner of this game. To start the game, player 1 is going to start by drawing one shape card. Now they're going to take a little bit of time to examine their shapes and see if they can complete any of their objective cards. In this case, they think that they can secure 5 shapes that are not quadrilaterals. They take those 5 shapes and they're going to place them in the discard pile and flip over their objective cards, symbolizing that they completed that objective. They now draw back up to 5 shape cards. Player 2 is now going to start their turn by drawing one shape card. They're now going to take some time to examine if they can complete any of their objective cards. This player thinks that they can secure 4 shapes with at least 4 angles. They're going to take those 4 shapes and put them in the discard pile, flipping over their objective card to symbolize that it is complete. They now draw back up to 5 cards. Player 3 is going to start their turn by drawing one shape card. They're going to take a look at their cards and see if they can complete any objectives. In this case, they cannot, so they will discard one shape card. Player 4 will now start their turn by drawing one shape card. They take a look at their cards, deciding if they can do anything here. And in this case, the player thinks that they can secure 3 shapes that are quadrilaterals. They're going to take those 3 shapes and place them in the discard pile and flip over that objective card. Now we have completed one round around the table. As the game goes on around the table, this player has now completed all 3 of their objectives. This means that every other player around the table gets one more turn, as seen here. Since all 4 players took their last turn and nobody could complete all 3 objectives, player 1 is declared the winner of this game. There are many variations to this game. Some include drawing more than 3 objective cards to add time to the game, or drawing less than 3 objective cards to shorten the length of the game. You could also play in smaller groups or larger groups to shorten or lengthen the time. You could also separate all of your shape cards into specific units, such as triangles, quadrilaterals, polygons, and so on.